I'm hoping to challenge the lenses people look at the world through by using the lens of a camera.
All right, cut. So, the scene before, we were just down the hill over there, and you were talking with the hologram, and the hologram gave you some information that you didn't want, right? So, what do you think your character is about right now, going through this pack? What's your...
Looking for resources, trying to figure out how much she has in here, maybe see if it could get her home, if it could last her the trip home.
I came up with the idea of the Other Dog films from a stray dog that came into my family's life a couple years ago. We tried to find his previous owners, but we're glad that we couldn't because he looked severely malnourished and abused. Todd is a loving but confused dog. He still doesn't know how to interact with other dogs or even humans to this day. The Other Dog film's goal, my goal, is to look at the world differently, challenge the perspectives that people have become comfortable with, and ask questions about why things are the way that they are. The Fate is a series of short films that touches on themes like child abuse and manipulation. It's set in a world where a powerful corporation abducts the kids of the story and controls them through an implant in the back of their neck. This manipulation is ultimately used to coerce the parents into doing what the company wants them to do. Finding Worth, it's one of my favorite films so far. It's been selected to screen at the Christian Film Festival in Newport News, Virginia this October 2020. It's a story about addiction, codependency, and how relationships are affected by both of those things. And not only does the film talk about drug abuse, it puts both the characters in positions to change and to challenge the lifestyle that they have both become accustomed to. We all know that change is tough, and sometimes it can have effects that we don't always like. We're all very familiar with what's going on in our country right now, but there's another crisis that's still going on that no one's talking about anymore. That's homelessness. One of our most recent projects, called Street Connections, looks at a couple of the relationships found in the homeless community. What do you think would be the common lens that society looks at the homeless through? Like drug addicts make a mess, dirty, that kind of thing. We were blessed one day to run into a local woman named Willie. She shared with us a little bit about her life and the relationships in it and how important those relationships are to her.
They were told a lot of things about me that wasn't true. They were told that I picked drugs over them, and that wasn't true. I never picked no drugs over my children. If I would have picked drugs over my children, I would have been dead by now. I was worried that my kids would get separated. I didn't want my kids separated. The only steady thing that they had throughout all their lives was each other, the three of them.
These are people too. Some of them choose a lifestyle, some of them don't. But they all have mothers, some of them sisters, brothers, fathers. John was willing to share with us the hardships he's had having a daughter that lives on the street.
And I thank God for that, because what it did is it elevated my empathy. If you're not going to respond with kindness, don't respond at all, because that's somebody's baby.
It's very easy to fall into a complacent way of living or even thinking. I think it happens to us all, and sometimes we don't even know we've done it. That's why the Other Dog Films aims to create films that take common perspectives, relationships, situations, and ask the hard questions. I didn't mention earlier that Todd is also deaf. He startles every time we try to wake him up. He just doesn't hear us coming. But can you imagine what it's like to look at the world through his perspective, or anyone that's deaf. How much of our own lens is built upon what we hear? I hope our films impact people's lives and give them the ability to look at the world and the people around them differently, or even give them courage to challenge the status quo in their own lives. That would be very meaningful to us.